Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Hossam. I'm the CEO of Genbai. We're a work management platform for product teams that don't have project managers. We're pre-seed, post-MVP, pre-revenue. We go to the next slide. So, wait, this is not the next slide. Okay, yeah, one more. Yeah. So the problem we're addressing is an issue I'm sure a lot of people have experienced in their day-to-day work. Basically, there's a big market of product teams, software teams who lack either a project manager on their team, or if they do have project managers, those project managers are overworked. They're managing multiple projects at the same time. And as a result, those teams usually fail 50% more projects. And interestingly enough, about 17% of those projects can go so badly and so over budget that they could threaten the existence of a company, especially when we're talking about early stage, mid-sized companies. And oftentimes, to address these challenges and these lack of PM resources, what a lot of companies do today, a lot of teams will do is they'll either offhand a lot of the project management tasks onto the non-project managers, like the developers, product managers, or designers. And so those people end up doing work that's not tied to the value that they bring to the company. So they have less time that they spend on specialized work, or they use a project management software. And oftentimes these tools are not created for teams without project managers, but they're more so there to refine what already exists. But what happens when you don't have anything that exists? What happens when you don't have a workflow? What happens when you don't have any optimization? And a lot of times they often require expertise, either from a project management standpoint or an expert on the tool for them to be used effectively. And the last option is you either hire trainers or you hire an actual project manager, and oftentimes that's very costly. Oftentimes about over $100,000, $150,000 per hire. So these are the problems a lot of teams are left with, and these are solutions, and a lot of them don't really end up solving the problem, or they can create more problems than they solve. So we can move on to the next slide. So as a result of this problem, we've identified a really lucrative solution in Genbai. Genbai is an AI-powered work management platform that's built to bridge that skill gap that exists in teams that lack those project management resources by providing them with specialized AI co-pilots that are task-specific, that handle core project management functions, curated workflows, pre-built project structures and workflows that allow teams to get started and manage their projects efficiently right out of the box without having to do any customization or any setup, and built-in project management guidance throughout the entire app experience, tips throughout, just like through the structure of the app, through ways that through communication points within the app that reinforce the project management habits. And essentially, what Genbai aims to do is to take care of the project management for teams so they don't have to worry about that, and they could just focus on their specialized skill sets and doing the work that they were hired to do. As a result, we're able to save teams weeks on onboarding onto other tools by comparison, and working on project setup, especially when you're talking about complex projects. $100,000 plus of costs on either hiring an administrator or project manager or trainers or consultants and agencies. And 50% of the time that's spent on common project management tasks that these people would typically be doing and now would be automated. We can move on to the next slide. So just to preface all of this with, what is the size of this market exactly in the beginning? I talked about it was a $2 billion US market of teams that are impacted by this. But when we look at the whole market globally of software teams or companies that would have software teams, we're looking at a $26 billion market. And we calculated this by looking at the number of tech companies globally and multiplying that by what we estimate to be the average annual revenue we would gain per customer, per company. And then we have the SAM, like breaking that down even further, is about 270 U.S. companies specifically that lack specialized project management resources or skilled project managers. And that's about like 42% of the companies or 42% of teams. And then when we go down further to the SOM, we think that there's a really great opportunity here looking at specifically startups, small startup agencies, small mid-sized businesses as well, because oftentimes they're going to lack those project managers, and they're also going to be the ones who really need a solution like this the most, because of the lack of funds that they will have, lack of money they will have, and like I said, 17% of projects can threaten a company's existence. So it's very pressing for them. We can move on to the next slide. So why now? Today, there's a lot more complexity going in a lot of projects. Teams are becoming more cross-collaborative. Instead of just software developers working on their own in an island, they're working with product managers, they're working with designers, they're working with marketing, they're working with sales. So a lot of that complexity starts creating more need for specialized project management. There's more AI-driven startups. So you have a lot of startups that are coming about, and non-technical founders who've never worked on software projects before are now able to build software and start startups because of the way AI tools are enabling people to be able to build a new software from scratch. And so those people would lack that knowledge or know-how of how to build software at scale through a longer period of time. CEOs in general are looking to adopt AI for multiple reasons, cutting costs because of a lot of economic pressures, and just in general, there's a lot of excitement around AI and a lot of exploration and into how AI could solve a lot of these core business problems that we would rely on people for. In general, also, companies are on average increasing their adoption of project management tools year over year. So there's an increasing demand for specifically project management tools already as well. And the last thing is that project management skills are also increasing in demand. In tandem with those economic pressures, though, you have increase in demand and increase in need, but less capital, especially when we're talking about startups in early stage. A lot of people are having difficulty getting funding compared to before. So you have a lot less capital that you're working with compared to previously as well. So you could take it over from here.
Sure, absolutely. So I'll be talking a little bit about some of the things that make Genbai different and make Genbai, different, like I said before, about than the other things that are available right now on the market. So with the way that we've designed the application and some of the features that we have, we aim to allow small teams and people who want to get to work on their projects to get started instantly. So we've streamlined the onboarding onto our application to the point where get started in like less than 5 minutes with all of your workflows set up already and ready to go. 2 and 3 are more about our AI features. So we mentioned before, we have a heavy focus on AI, and we, through a bunch of different technical challenges and back and forths that we've had with people that have a lot of issues with the way things work right now in their PM applications, we've tried to implement a lot of AI features that make things as fast as possible to increase workflow. And so the fourth one that ties into this, analyzing your projects with AI. So we're trying to basically make it so that it's a one-stop shop. You're able to analyze your projects and set up your projects at the same time through AI. So we have Hero, our AI copilot, that enables you to do that basically. So in the same application, you can use AI to set up your projects, to create your tickets, to create all of the work that you need to keep track of, and then also keep track of that work using said AI. And lastly, but not least by any means, is being able to scale your project structure. So the fact that the project is itself, number one, structured for you from the beginning, and also easy to use and simple, you're able to scale much faster because of because of that. And then you can add on teams. So you can start small with Genbai, and also it'll grow to accommodate your needs as well. And yeah, that's it for this.
Wait, we can go back real quick as well. Sorry. Can we go back? Yeah. So one thing specifically about Genbai also that, you know, a lot of times that we were also solving with those PM tasks is that, damn. Okay. Move on to the next slide. Move on to the next slide. All right. So our business model is a freemium model. Move on to the next slide. We could close out. We can close out. Just leave it open for questions at the moment. I mean, there was a little bit more, but yeah.
Just visually scroll.
Yeah, you could scroll. This is really scannable. You could just kind of scroll through. Yeah, this is the last thing we're looking.
So let's give a proper round, a respectful round of applause. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't put that mic down.
Sorry.
Now we're gonna open the floor to questions and answers from the crowd and from the judges.